So this is an update of everything that's occurred this week of October 20th to 26th of 2024 on the genocide in Gaza and what we're doing to fight it. First, we'll start off with whatever's happened in Gaza. Over 150 Palestinians have been killed in Jabalia in the northern Gaza. There's about 10 houses that were destroyed completely with a whole bunch of refugees staying inside it. And then Reuters also came out with this just a couple of days ago, where 17 Palestinians and 42 injured were in a school in central Gaza's Nusayrat camp. We have to take some time out to remember those brothers and sisters over there. And now towards what we're doing against it. Currently, Rathbone has made a video in support of Jill Stein.
What does Kamala Harris have to say about AIPAC?
Good morning, AIPAC. Good morning. What an honor.
What does Donald Trump have to say about AIPAC?
I speak to you today as a lifelong supporter and true friend of Israel.
What does Jill Stein have to say about AIPAC?
AIPAC should be required to register as a foreign agent, and that would effectively shut down the inordinate influence that AIPAC has on behalf of the State of Israel.
Well, pretty easy.
Katie Halper and the Useful Idiots made multiple videos about Jill Stein's appearance in a third-party debate.
By affirming that it will not happen again. And we held accountable not only those who perpetrated genocide, but the bystanders to genocide. And I'm proud to be among those who will not stand by and allow this blood to be on our hands with our tax dollars from our weapons and our diplomatic cover.
Norman Finkelstein lashed out against Harris and Trump.
Well, there's nothing to think about, Harris. There's just nothing there. She's a laughing cow. I don't know why she's always laughing. The world's on fire. Why are you always laughing? She's just completely detached from reality. The Democratic Party, it engaged in this public relations juggernaut, this orchestration. It was very much, and I don't mean this facetiously, it was very much like the passing of the baton from Kim Il-sung to his son. This total non-entity, Kim Il-sung's son, he's suddenly the great leader. And we should all be joyful at the great leader. Kamala Harris is not even a zero, she's a -1.
And in a specific call between party members from Jose Vega, he talked about Jill Stein and how he's very interested in that, given that Cornel West is really stagnant in his political opinions, and he's not really pushing for that. The Hill, President Jill Stein
itself. So what does it say when they take actual efforts to disqualify rival candidates and then rhetorically, like AOC does, try to say that, well, third parties, they're not viable. You have to stick with the Democrats. Well, if they're not viable, why aren't they viable? Because you're part of a two-party system that helps to keep it not viable.
Exactly.
As well as the gray zone that's joining on Jill Stein.
Beating around the bush, war is taking place, a genocide in Gaza. You have the pledge to stop genocide in Gaza. You are politicizing this assault on a besieged, occupied people in a very...
The Democrats really hate this, and just a few days ago, Lawrence O'Donnell made a post saying a vote for Jill Stein is a vote for Trump. And
deportations. If Donald Trump becomes president and Jill Stein voters are watching millions of people deported from this country, if they are watching their friends being deported from this country, their friends will know that Jill Stein voters are to blame for what Donald Trump is doing to them.
Then ABC gave a little bit of talk with Jill Stein on their platform, which she held herself really well.
What will you say to those Democrats who will blame you again if you help pave the way for another Trump presidency?
So every time we hear this smear, what we don't hear is that the vast majority of those voters, we know from interviews, we know also from exit polls, the vast majority would not have come out to vote. So those actually were not stolen from another candidate. Those were people who were given a reason to come out and vote.
Well, right after that was the debate, and right after that she did an event in Detroit for Detroit Free Press.
We refuse to be talked into selling our souls, into compromising, into being talked, into affirming, endorsing, and enabling genocide.
So she's in the battleground states, she's fighting. Hopefully we can get to that 5% goal of nationwide vote support for Jill Stein and for the Green Party. And so that's where I leave you guys. We got to keep pushing this. We've got to keep getting other creators involved. Ask them, what about Green Party? What about Jill Stein? And hope to sway their opinions that the wave is turning from blue to green.